All right, work together 8-1. So, section 8-1 is all about, remember I talked about our adjustment column from our worksheet, how we didn't really journalize it? That's what we're doing in 8-1. So what we have in our directions is a partial worksheet for Darlene's delivery service for month ended July 31st of the current year. So we have the only thing that's missing from this column is our trial balance. Basically, what we have to do is we have to look at our adjustments and we have to journalize it. Now, please note, when the book does adjustments, they label them with A's and B's. A's is the first adjustment, B's is the second. That's important because if you don't do it in the right order, Applia will mark it wrong and then you can argue back points. So pretty much what we have to take a look at is we have adjustment A. You can see right here I have supplies as being credited, $713, and then supplies expenses being debited for $713. I have to journalize it. We've journalized before, right? What account goes first? For A. Which one? Nope. The top one, which is labeled. When you journalize, what goes first? Debits. No, not assets. Debits. Your debit goes first. So which account is debited? What's that? Supplies expense, right here. This is my debit column. Now, here's the other interesting. What is your source document? Do you have one? Do you have a receipt? Do you have a check number? Do you have a memorandum? We don't. So when we go to do our adjusting entries, we will never have any source document. So what we have to do when we are getting ready to do our adjustments, your adjustments will always be on a separate journal page from anything else. Okay? So you could have your previous month, your total and your rule, and then when you go to do your adjustments, it's always going to be a brand new page. And then what we do in the very top, on line 1 here of my journal, is I'm going to write the word adjusting entries. And I write the word adjusting entries just like this, because there it says everything below is adjusting entries. I don't have to worry about not having a source document, because where did I get my information from? My worksheet. Now, all adjusting entries are going to be journalized on the last day of the fiscal period. What's the last day of our fiscal period? July 31st. Okay, so I have to put in the month of July. The date's the 31st. Now, I already said what account goes first. Yes, the debits goes first, and which one is debited? Nope, got to do A. Supplies expense. Supplies expense is going to be debited, $713. What's going to be credited? Supplies. Now, we just journalized A's adjusting entry. Now we have to journalize B. Each adjusting entry, like your A's and your B's, each one has to have the date. So I need to put the date again because this is our matching debits and credits. What account is going to be debited? Insurance expense. For how much? $300. What's being credited? Prepaid insurance for $300. Okay, so all I did is I took my debits and credits from my adjustment column and put it in my journal. I had to do A first and then B, but I need to make sure I do my debits and then my credits. Okay, now I journalized my adjusting entries. Now I need to post them. Okay, posting is not new. I start at the very top. My first account I have is supplies expense. So I have to choose from my drop-down list. And I find supplies expense. I have to put in the month, which is July. The date is the 31st. Post reference is going to be 4, because this is page 4. Debit for 713. Posting is not new, so I'm kind of going a little bit fast. That's not right there, Evan. So I post it to supplies expense. The last thing I do, I have my debit of 713. I put account number 540 back up here. Now I have to go to supplies. The date is the 31st. Post reference is 4. I am crediting supplies for 713, but I have a debit balance, so I need to take 963 minus 713, which gives me 250, and that is my new balance for supplies. Would you agree? The last thing I do is put account number 140 back up on top. Let's do the same thing for insurance expense. I will do insurance expense just like I did supplies expense. Nothing is in there first. Put in the month. The day is the 31st. Post reference is going to be 4 because this is from journal page 4. Insurance expense is being debited $300. So I'm going to take the debit and put it in the first debit column. It has a previous balance of 0. So a 0 plus a debit of 300 is going to give me a balance of 300. Again, when you post, you're not getting your debits and credits to equal. The whole point is to find out what is in the balance of your account. The last thing you do is take your account number 520 and put it back up to show that you posted that one. The last one I post to is going to be prepaid insurance. Prepaid insurance will be done very similar to our supplies. It has a previous balance in there. I put the date of the 31st. Post reference is 4. And I am crediting prepaid insurance $300. It has a balance of $1,200. Its new balance is now $900 because I have to subtract. Because it has a debit balance of $1,200. I just credited it $300. The difference between the two is $900. The last step I do is put account number 150 back up top. That is section 8-1. Told you, pretty quick, wasn't it?